Hey there, welcome back. Lana here. Okay, this week has been a lot. Not in a bad way, just alive. Like everything was speaking at once. The earth, my body, my dreams, even my water. And I want to share it with you because I think a lot of us are walking through these same energetic shifts, but we don't always have language for it while it's happening. So, this is my voice journal for the week, a little time capsule of everything I felt, lived, cried through, and remembered. There's water, there's trees, there's a dream that shook me to my core. And through all of it, I kept getting the same message. You're not crazy. You're collapsing timelines, and you're doing it by staying soft. So, first, water. This past week, my body started doing this thing where I would feel totally empty, not exhausted exactly, but like something old was clearing out, and I realized it was water. It was like my body was flushing memory, old patterns, old frequencies through the water inside me. And then it hit me. Water holds memory. So when I shift my frequency, when I'm really embodying something new, the water has to shift with me. Lately, I've been drinking water. Well, not lately, for the past few months, intuitively, I've been drinking water in this totally different way. It's filtered, it's room temperature, and I let a tiny bit of algae grow in this container. And it sounds gross, but it actually just tastes so good. It tastes alive. Honestly, it's the only thing that compares to Mount Shasta water. And if you've had that, you know what I mean. It's got this crystalline quality your cells remember. So, yeah, I'm calling this the way of living water because it's not just hydration, it's reprogramming. And my body is so clearly in a new cycle of release and renewal. Then the trees started speaking. I know how that sounds, but it wasn't like, oh, wow, I saw a cool tree. It was more like certain trees were showing up again and again, and I could feel them syncing with my system. And the thought dropped in trees are consciousness ports, like actual organic signal towers, storing resonance, broadcasting calm, mirroring back our soul's code. There's the wisdom tree by the water that I keep returning to. There's the support tree also on the water that I sat under while talking to my 96-year-old grandma. And that moment cracked open something deep, like it cleared ancestral grief just through presence. And then there's the one with heart-shaped leaves in my backyard that always catches the wind right when I come outside and the leaves rustle. It's beautiful. I started realizing these aren't just trees, they're living mirrors. And I think some of the trees we're drawn to are literally holding our blueprint, not giving us answers, but reflecting our own inner knowing back to us through presence. Okay, this next moment felt really wild. I was out on the water with a soul friend of mine, and as we were paddling, it felt like we were moving through different timelines. Like I could feel the density shift as we passed through it. Some parts of the water were glitchy, noisy, distorted, and then suddenly we'd paddle a little further and it would all clear. The energy, the sound, the stillness, like stepping into a different layer of reality. And I got this hit. We are tuning forks. We can literally tune ourselves to the organic matrix, not by escaping the old, but by choosing to stay synced with what's real. Right after that, a swarm of bees that had been living in my backyard was rehomed, and the person who helped rehome them gifted me honey from the hive. And I just stood there with this bowl and strainer and watching this golden honey drip through, thinking, this is a code. This is a thank you. The earth is always in relationship with us. She sends signals, and when we're listening, we notice. Then came the 6-6 portal, and that day, this phrase dropped in loud and clear. I trust myself, more than I trust the pattern. That one sentence unraveled so much because honestly, I've lived a lot of my life inside this story of having to earn goodness. Like, if life is hard, that means I'm strong. Or if I suffer well, it makes me worthy of ease later. So I've carried this whole identity of I'll handle it, I'll take care of it, I'll figure it out, I'll prove I can do it. But underneath that, there was still a part of me that said, you can't handle it. So proving it became survival. But now I'm shifting. Now I can say, I allow abundance to be easy. I trust myself with more. I am safe in overflow. And I actually made wallpaper for my phone. And it's my daily reminder. It's not a wish, it's a choice. Okay, this next part is hard to talk about, but it's important. A few nights ago, I had one of the most intense dreams I've ever had, and it didn't feel like a dream. It felt like a timeline clearing. In the dream, I was in a room, and there were people telling me they had my children at the ages I remember them most clearly as little ones in another room. And they started describing in detail all these terrible things they were going to do to them. It was horrific. I was pleading and begging. I was trying everything I could to protect them. And then something shifted. I realized I couldn't stop it. And in that moment, I did the only thing I could. I surrendered. I let the pain wash through me, every version of fear, every possible outcome. I curled into a ball sobbing and I let myself feel it all. I thought I was going to die. And then the energy changed. The people came back, but they were different, soft, kind, loving. And they said, you passed the test. You didn't break. You surrendered. And then they brought my children back to me. I woke up shaking and crying, but also peaceful because it felt like I had just collapsed every trauma timeline, not just for them, but for me. Like, I had to let go of all the versions of our story that ended in pain and sealed something different in their place. I keep coming back to this. That dream wasn't about fear, it was about choosing love, even when I couldn't control the outcome. It was about trusting that surrender is strength. So, yeah, that was my week. Not a launch, not a plan, just life, real, raw, and remembered. What I feel now in my bones is this: the earth is speaking, water is rewriting our stories, trees are reflecting our soul back to us, bees are delivering encoded sweetness, and the trauma timeline, it ends here. Not because we force it, but because we choose differently. So if you've been emotional, tired, wired, floating between dreams and awakenings, you're not broken. You're remembering. This is the real Great Awakening. It's happening in your nervous system, in your children, in your breath, in your choices. So keep tuning in, keep walking. You're not behind, you're right on time. So thank you for walking this with me and participating in my journal recap. I want to remind you that you are so much more powerful than you realize and that there is so much more beauty available to you if you just tune in, because there's a lot of life happening that's real beneath the noise and the chaos of the world. So I'm sending you so much love in this moment and a big gratitude for being here and for being you, and a big reminder that together we rise.